Hi everyone, welcome to our sixth session, which we'll be talking about transportation, freight logistics, and distribution channel. So in this session, we will discuss the role of transportation and logistics in operation and supply chain. We're looking into strengths and weaknesses of different modes of transportation, and also we will looking into the role of multimodal solutions. Also, we will discuss some of the transportation management system, role of packaging in transportation, and as well as role of distribution supply chain management. So, transportation plays a very important role in the economy and society as a whole. It enables the movement of people and goods from one place to another, facilitate trade, commerce, and social interaction. The role of transportation can be, for example, economic development. Transportation can be seen as essential element in development of an economy. Employment opportunities. The transportation industry provide employment opportunities for millions of people around the world. Social interactions. Transportation also enable people to interact with one another. Accessibility as well. Transportation plays a critical role in ensuring that people have access to essential services such as healthcare, education, employment, and also it has environmental impact, which is very significant. Um, Efforts are there being made to reduce those environmental impact of transportation throughout the use of, for example, alternative fuels, electric vehicle, and other sustainable transportation options. The objective of transportation is to minimize the value of their service to match the customer needs and requirements. At the same time, we're negotiating the price to cover the delivery costs. Also, we need to make sure services provided as effectively and efficiently as possible. In terms of the supply chain, it views the transportation from this different perspective. Like transportation provide a critical link between organizations, helping them and supporting the goods to flow between the facilities. Transportation service availability is critical to demand fulfillment in the supply chain, and also transportation efficiency promotes the competitiveness of the supply chain. Many challenges exist for transportation. Beside these ones we mentioned here, we can looking into also infrastructure, aging infrastructure, and inadequate investment in transportation network can result in a poor condition, reduced capacity, and limited access. Congestion, traffic congestion in urban areas can lead to delay, increased fuel consumption, and decreased productivity. Transportation accidents can result in injuries, fatalities, and property damage. Sustainability as well. So, transportation is a significant contribution to greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute to climate change. There's a growing need to reduce the environmental impact of transportation. Access to transportation can be a challenge for many individuals, particularly those in the rural areas or with limited mobility. The increased reliance on technology in transportation system create vulnerability to cyber attacks, which can significantly have some consequences. The cost of transportation can be a significant burden for individuals and businesses, particularly in areas where public transportation is limited. Transportation is also heavily regulated, which can create barriers to entry for new competitors and limit their innovation. And also, having said that, the globalization of trade has increased demand for transportation services, leading to increased competition and pressure on transportation provider to improve efficiency and reduce cost. When we talk about transportation, there are different modes of transportation available. Some of those primary mode of transportation are motor carriers or motorways or highways. Then we have railways or railroads, air carrier, water or shipment, pipeline, intermodal, as well as six mode. The first mode of transportation is motor carrier, motorways or highways, widely used mode of transportation is domestic supply chain. Economic structure of motor carriers industry contributes to vast number of carriers in the industry. It is compromised of for higher and private fleet operations. There are different methods there: truckload carriers, less than truckload, and it can be also a small package carrier. The next mode of transportation is a railroad or railways. Activity level have been achieved despite the lack of direction accessibility to all parts of supply chain. It is important to note that the railroads or railways are usually on natural monopolies. There are two carrier type here, line haul and short line. So line haul is provide service between major markets and customers within those markets, and short line carriers provide the local and regional links between individual customer and the national rail network of the railroad. As we know, one of the mode of transportation is air carrier. So it can be combination carrier, move a freight and passenger at the same time. It can be just air cargo carrier. They're just looking into letters, envelope, package. Good examples are DHL. It can be integrated carrier, provide door-to-door services, so they can come to your place, pick up the items with motorbikes or ute and take it to the center. From the center, they take it with the truck to the airport, and from there goes on and it reaches to the destination. It can be non-integrated, means probably we need to take the package to the airport, and it's like an airport to airport service. And when it's reached the destination, someone from there need to go and collect it from the airport. The next mode of transportation, which one of the main mode of transportation for international trade, is water or shipment. So it's a major facilitator of the international trade with more than 80% of all the international freight movement. There are two primary carrier type there: the liner and charter. So liner employ a wide variety of ship in a fixed route. Charter lease ship to customer on a time basis to follow the routes the customer they're choosing. There are options there. We can use container ship, bulk carrier, tankers, general cargo shipments, or roll on, roll off, or RO vessels. Another mode of transportation is a pipeline, unique mode of transportation as the equipment is fixed in place and the product moves through the high volume. Three primary types. It can be gathering line, very small move oil from both onshore and offshore production to the site of central collection point. Trunk line, bring raw oil from extraction point to refineries and also refined product. A pipeline carries petroleum products from refinery to large fuel terminals. And of course, it is very important to note that usually in the world we will use mix of these modes of transportation, or we call them intermodal transportation. It is usually involved two or three or even more modes to move shipments. So logistic managers always look for the best way to move shipment by taking advantage of multiple mode of transportation, each having set and useful characteristics. Intermodal also have advantages and disadvantages. For example, when we're looking at advantages, I've used a strong capability of two or more different modes, greater accessibility, overall cost efficiency, as well as facilitate global trade. But there are disadvantages as well. For example, biggest disadvantage is carrier reluctance to participate. It might be cultural bias towards using only one mode, or equipment shortage, transfer facility congestions, or can be supply chain disruptions. So there are always advantages and disadvantages that we as the managers we need to be aware of them. Now, from beginning, probably you were thinking, what is sixth mode of transportation? It's basically moving from a physical world to digital world online, right? Product like movies, books, softwares, music are all converted to digital format. We don't need to physically transport them anymore. So let's look at some of those data. Sales of downloaded music were 6.85 billion in 2014 versus sales of CDs and vinyl albums at 25.9 billion in 2021. Sales of ebook reached to 5.69 billion in 2014, 18.13 billion in 2020, and are projected to reach to 23 billion in 2026. Probably we are all aware of Netflix. So streaming subscriber base reached to 221 million paid subscribers worldwide in the first quarter of 2022. Each of the modes they have a certain characteristics. For example, we're looking at the rail, so speed for the rail is low, but road is higher, sea is very low, air is very high, pipeline is high. Cost saving, you can see each of these mode of transportation, they do have certain characteristics that we need to be aware of them. And it continue, for example, to infrastructure maintenance costs, vehicle size, door-to-door potential, suitable cargo, and economical distance. So modal selection is an essential component of transportation planning and strategy. It involves choosing the most appropriate mode of transportation for given shipment based on different factors. Can be distance, delivery requirement, cost, speed, time, reliability, and environmental factors. Some of the common mode of transportation, which we already covered them, for example, road, rail, air, water, and pipeline. So, in selecting the appropriate mode of transportations, transportation planner need to consider several factors. For example, accessibility determine whether a particular mode can physically perform the transportation service which is required. If you're looking into accessibility, maybe motor carriers they have advantage, but there's a disadvantage of air, rail, and water, so the accessibility is lower. Transit time, it's very critical in supply chain management because of its impact on inventory availability, stock out cost, and customer satisfaction. So when we're looking at the advantages for transit time, air and motor carriage, they have the advantage, but on the other hand, rail, water, and pipeline, they do have the disadvantage here. Reliability refers to the consistency of the transit time provided by transportation mode. It is measured by some statistical variation. We're looking at advantage and disadvantage. You can see motor carrier and air carrier, they have advantage. Disadvantage can be water carrier and rail carrier. It is very important that here we note that sometimes some of this mode of selections can be different in different countries or continents. So again, it's not a fix that we said this mode of transportation have advantage there. It can be some variety in place that we need to be aware of it. Product safety as well. So advantage can be air and motor carriage. When we're looking into this, disadvantages of rail and water. We're looking at the cost advantage. The cost of transportation services vary greatly between and within those modes. Disadvantage, for example, motor carriage and air transportation. Other consideration for modal selection can be the nature of the product, like size, durability, and product value, shipment characteristics like size, route, and required speed. And it can be other as well, like environmental impact, right? Actually, it is become increasingly important consideration in modal selection. Some mode of transportation, such as air and road transportation, have a higher carbon footprint than others, such as rail and water transportation. A transportation management system is it's like a software platform that help businesses manage their transportation operation, including planning, execution, and optimization. A TMS can be used for shipper, carrier, and logistics service provider to streamline the transportation process and reduce the cost. TMS can be deployed on premise or can be cloud-based software. Cloud-based TMS solutions have become increasingly popular due to their ease of use, scalability, and cost effectiveness. Overall, TMS can help businesses to optimize the transportation operation, reduce costs, and improve customer services. So, we can use the transportation management system for routing and scheduling. A good example is UPS, for example, Neverton left end. It can help with load planning, load tendering, status tracking, appointment schedules, and many others. Last mile delivery refer to the final leg of delivery process from transportation hub or warehouse to an end user or recipient. Is often the most expensive and time consuming part of delivery process and can be significant challenge for logistic companies and retailers. The term last mile was originally used in telecommunication field but has since become applied to supply chain management. Last mile delivery is becoming increasingly important due to the growth of e-commerce and online shopping. Customers expect faster and more convenient delivery options such as same day or next day delivery. As a result, last mile delivery has become critical differentiator for retailers in highly competitive market. So basically, you can looking into movement of goods in bulk using freight provider often provide to be more sufficient manner of shipping. When goods arrive at distribution point with the supply chain, they will need to be further transported to final destination. So the final segment of transportation tends to be the less efficient and may contribute up to 28% of total cost of transportation. One of the main topic in transportation is the role of packaging, which we're going to cover that in our session today. Packaging play a very crucial role in transportation as protect product during transit and ensure they arrive at the destination in good condition. The right packaging can prevent damage, reduce losses, and minimize the risk of liability for businesses. When customized packaging can provide another level of product differentiation sought by customer, protect the integrity and quality of the goods, its design impact, and our organization ability to use the space and equipment more effectively, ease of handling during material handling and transportations, provide information about the package content, helps to apportion the content into serving or individual selling unit, and information about the products on the boxes as well. In general, the role of packaging in transportation is to ensure the safe, efficient, and cost effective transportation of product from one location to another. By selecting the right packaging material, design, labeling, businesses can reduce the risk of product getting damaged, increase the customer satisfaction, and improve their bottom line, which is the sustainability part of it. So we do have consumer packaging, or we call it marketing emphasis. It's like interior packaging provide information for selling, motivate customer to buy, and gives maximum visibility of retail shelf. Marketing manager primary concern with how package fit the marketing mix here. Then we have industrial packaging, which is the exterior packaging, protect interior packaging and product, permit effective handling and transportation, provide useful logistic information. Logistic managers primary concern with efficient shipping characteristic, including production's ability to withstand stacking when on a pallet, cube, weight, shape, and other relevant factors. This is a great example of how the packaging change and can have a significant impact. We're looking at the old design of those candles and also the new design. You can see the differences. The older design is a loose package. The new design is very compact packaging. This is also the difference in the shop floor. You can see the old packaging all throw in a box, big box. New packaging, how compact and clean it is. Now let's have a look at the bigger impact of this small change. Increased number of packs of 100 cano per pallet from 250 to 360. Reduce the number of pallets from 59.5 to 41. Reduce number of truck trips from the distribution center store by 200. Improve product margin because of less packaging material use and less manpower used in the store to unpack on the 186 man per days in a year, and less floor space used in a store. You can see by changing the packaging, we can reach to such a big So significant impact in terms of our transportation as well. Let's move to our last topic today, which is the warehouse and distribution channels. The role of warehousing and distribution facilities is to store and manage inventories for businesses and facilitate the movement of goods between supplier, manufacturer, retailer, and end user. Warehousing plays a critical role in supply chain by providing a centralized location for storing and distribution of products. So some of the key rule of warehousing can be inventory management, order fulfillment, cross-stocking, value-added services, risk management, and customer services. Adds value basically to firm product by creating time utility for raw materials, industrial goods, and finished products, and allows firms to use customer services as a dynamic value-adding competitive tool. As we mentioned, there are value adding rules in distribution operation, for example, assembly services, inventory management, visibility, product bundling or unbundling, product postponement, product sequencing, recycle, repair, and return management as well. There are several functions of distribution facility. The first one is accumulation. Basically, the DC serve as a collection point for products coming from multiple origin and provide transfer, storage, and processing services. The accumulation function allows organization to consolidate orders and shipment for products and fulfillment processes. So when we mention consolidations, you can see in the picture on the other hand, means to collect the smaller shipments to form a larger quantity in order to realize lower transportation rates. You can see in our picture on the left side, if it's no accumulations, and on the right side, if there is accumulation, you can see that will help us to lower the transportation rate. Then we have sortation, focus on assembling like products together for storage in a distribution facility or for transfer to customers. During receiving product, goods are segmented according to their key characteristics. It can be product lock number, it can be stock keeping unit, or case pack size, expiration days. These are just some of those characteristics that they might use. The allocation function focuses on matching available inventory to customer order for SKUs. Break bulk capacity promotes product availability for multiple customers and allow them to purchase needed quantities rather than excess volume that is not desired. So you can see from the picture we have a break bulk versus a bulk at the bottom. So break bulk is a separation of consolidated bulk into a smaller individual shipment for delivery to a different consignee. The freight may be moved intact inside the trailer or it may be interchanged and rehandled to connection courier. Another one is assortation, which involved the assembly of customer order for multiple SKUs held in the distribution facility. Facility provide product mixing capability, allowing customer to quickly order a variety of items from a single location. So we mentioned product mixing. Products arrive from different suppliers. You can see in the picture, for example, we have coffee, we have orange, we have cake, and then customer order different products and they all combine and send it to the customer. The basic warehouse process involves several key steps that ensure efficient storage and management of inventory. These steps may vary depending on specific requirement of the business or even product itself, but generally include 7 steps. Receiving, as you can see from our picture, the receiving process involves accepting incoming inventory from supplier or other sources. Warehouse person must inspect the shipment for damage, verify the quantity and quality of the product received, and record the receipt of inventory in the warehouse management system, or we call it WMS. Put away. Once the inventory received, you need to put away in a designated storage location in the warehouse. The WMS can generate put away instruction based on the product, its storage requirement, and availability space in the warehouse. Then we have a storage. The inventory is then stored in a designated location based on its characteristics that we mentioned before, such as size, weight, storage requirement, and the system tracks the location of inventory in the warehouse, making it easier to retrieve when needed. Order picking. When an order is received, warehouse personnel use the system to generate a pick list that identifies the product needed to fulfill the order. The products are then picked from their storage location and assembled for shipment. Then we have packing. The picking products are then packed into appropriate shipping container, which can vary depending on the size, quantity of the products being shipped. The packing must be secure and protective to prevent any damage during the transportation. And finally is the shipping. The packed products are then shipped out to the customer or other designated destinations. Our WMS system can generate shipping labels and track the shipping until it is delivered. On top of all of this, we need to do inventory control. Throughout the process, the system tracks inventory levels, ensure the warehouse always has the right amount of inventory on hand, and WMS can also provide real-time data on inventory levels and location, make it easier to manage and control the inventories. As you can see from this picture, we have something called cross-stocking. Sometimes we don't go through this process, and once we receive it, we send it out directly to the customer. By following all these basic warehouse processes, businesses can ensure efficient and accurate storage management and shipment of inventories, improving customer satisfaction and reducing cost. There are strategies that we need to be aware of it. We need to develop distribution strategies that are tailored to the products being handled, customer requirement, and available internal expertise and resource aiming to achieve the lowest cost. As we mentioned, when we talk about the basic warehousing process, we talk about warehouse management system. So basically, a warehouse management system or WMS is a software application designed to manage and optimize warehouse operations. WMS provide real-time visibility into inventory levels, location, and movement, enabling warehouse personnel to efficiently manage and control inventories. And there are some value added capabilities, for example, generate a performance reports, support paperless processes, enable integration of material handling equipment, picking system, sorting system, leverage wireless communication, labor management, task interleaving, system integration, activity based costing or billing, and multifunction distribution. Overall, WMS can provide significant benefit to warehouse operation, including increased accuracy, efficiency, and productivity. By implementing a WMS, businesses can optimize their warehouse operation, improve inventory control, and meet customer demand more effectively. And we reached to the end of our session today, which we cover many interesting topics related to transportation, freight logistics, and distribution channel. I hope this session was fruitful and you enjoyed the session. All the best and good luck.